So I'm trying to catch a birth here, and I was able to catch one of the babies being born before the battery went dead on my camera. So I'm going to kind of talk you through what's going on during this time. So right now she is in active labor. You can see her ears kind of poke out instead of hanging down. It's like she's wondering what is going on here, and she's not happy with it. And she's uncomfortable, and you'll hear her talking. And I know there's a hum and a hiss in this video, but I wanted you to be able to hear this also. So, yep, she is starting to have a discharge, which is the beginnings of so here you see her pushing. So she's beginning to push, and there you see a water sac coming out in the back there. So it took a while for her to do this. And the baby was pretty large. He was about 10, 11, 12 pounds. When we weighed him at 4 days old, he was 14 pounds. So he was a big boy. But you can hear her talking. I don't know whether that's the beginning of a contraction or what. But I tried to get video of signs. You can see that, oh, here she's going to push. She's pushing again. So I kind of tried to time between her pushes, and they were about 3 minutes at this point between. I've kind of skipped through the video because it was very long and not very interesting. So once the baby starts being born, it does get kind of graphic. I did get a pretty decent picture, a video of the first baby being born, and then my battery went dead, so we didn't get to see the second. But so that water sac will come out, and then it goes back in, and you see her pushing that water sac out again. But there's not you can't really see a kid yet. So she's still moving that baby through the birth canal. So now you can begin to see the dark in the sac is actually the baby starting to come out when she pushes. Now we're getting into some action. So now she's really going to begin working that baby out. But because she's laying down, he kind of gets stuck in the straw there, and she's unable to be productive in her pushes because he's kind of hung up in the straw and can't slide out. So I watch for a few minutes just to kind of see what's happening before I decide what I'm going to do next. She's definitely having a struggle. Generally, they don't struggle very much like this, like she is. I mean, she's working hard. You can start to see them behind her. They're a little bit a dark spot, but I'm going to go for some rubber gloves here and come back. So what I'm going to do is just lift him up so that when she pushes, I can slide him. And there he is. So, yeah, he's a big boy, big baby. And there, I'm just going to kind of shake him around a little bit to give him that, it helps bring any mucus and everything towards out of his nose, away from his throat, and so he doesn't suck all that in. And I lay him up by Mom so that she can clean him up without really having to get up. So she's doing a good job. She's a good mama. So I went and grabbed a towel. So now I'm helping her dry off his face. That's the biggest concern of mine, is making sure to get that mucus and that all that nasty off his face so that he can breathe and doesn't inhale any of that.
Good girl. First one's a boy.
So she's beginning to start to push the second baby out at this point, even though I don't think we're going to see any pushes. But here they both are, and what you're seeing coming now is the afterbirth. But both babies are born, and I moved them over under the heat lamp so that they can dry, and they're closer together also to help mom kind of keep control. Oh, and I know the hum is bad, but I wanted you to be able to hear her talking to the babies. But, yeah, so, I'm sorry about that hum. But here, they've already been up and tried nursing, and
Here they are. What time is it? They're about an hour and a half old.
yeah.
Oh, look at him pawing at her already. Well, she's looking for it.
So the one on the left there is the boy, and the one under trying to nurse there is the little girl. We named her Dottie. She's got one white dot on her forehead.
So tomorrow you'll are you gonna get it?
She's such a good mama. They're so fun to watch when they're this little.
Come here, Annabelle. So this is Annabelle, and she had a pretty rough birth, but I'll talk about that in just a few minutes. Come on, let's go get on the stand, honey. I want to talk today a little bit about colostrum and the importance of colostrum, and I'm going to read to you what colostrum really is. So it's the first milk produced by humans and animals, and it is so I'm just going to read this. So most species begin to generate colostrum just prior to giving birth. Colostrum has an especially high amount of bioactive compounds compared to mature milk to give newborns the best possible start to life. Specifically, colostrum contains antibodies to protect the newborn against disease and infection, and immune and growth factors and other bioactives that help to activate newborns' immune systems. They also help to jumpstart gut function and seed a healthy gut microbiome in the first few days of life. The bioactives found in colostrum are essential to a newborn's health, growth, and vitality. Colostrum strengthens a baby's immune system and is filled with white blood cells to protect it from infection. So the reason why I wanted to really talk to you today about colostrum is because sometimes, colostrum is a yellow, thick, sticky first milk that comes from all new mammals, all new mamas, and it's specifically designed for the antibodies and bacteria and things that are really at your farm. So when this little girl and her brother were born a week ago now, they were born real fast. I was not here to see what actually happened. So when I came out to the barn to see them, they were both out of the sacks, but the sacks weren't completely off of them yet. So they were, and Mama wasn't cleaning them up. She was just kind of standing there looking at them. So things happened quickly. Cats want to check her out. Things happened quickly, and the boy, he was trying to get up, he was trying to suck, he was this and that. So I always have a bottle in my bucket when I come out for my birthing bucket, I call it. So I always have a bottle with a nipple in there, and so I milked out some of the colostrum to feed to him, to give him the nourishment he needed to get up and get going. And when I milked that colostrum out, so bear in mind she's a brand new mama, very first time mama, and she's young, I noticed that it was thin and very pale and not sticky, not your typical good colostrum. So I had this happen a couple of years ago, and ended up talking to the vet about it, because the kids at that time also were weak. They just didn't have that vigor that they need. They didn't have the thrive that we all look for in our babies. All babies, not just goats, but lambs, goats, calves, all of that. They need that good, strong colostrum to get them going and get them thriving the way that we all want to see. So after talking to the vet a couple of years ago, I was like, yeah, that colostrum, that just wasn't a good quality that we look for. And so I ended up giving both the babies a BOSI shot, which is selenium deficiency, which gives them also that boost. But after talking to the vet again this week, she said, get him, because he was in the barn, get him started on some antibiotics to help boost his immune system, get him going that way. So I started doing that. I don't think she's out of the woods. The brother, now on the other hand, he's doing great. He's playing, he's bouncing around. He wasn't before I started those antibiotics and gave him the BOSI. He wasn't. He was in her same boat. So maybe that was all he needed to get him jump started. I don't know. Time will tell. But right now, that's where we're at, and that's why I wanted to talk to you about colostrum. The vet told me that sometimes that happens, that a sheep or a goat or a mama cow, they just won't have that real good, thick colostrum for whatever reason. She didn't really know why it happens, but it does happen. And so that's where we're at right now. So if she makes it, I'll be happy, but I kind of wonder whether she will or not. So time will tell.